Felix here, and what a day. The stock market doesn't get much better than this, certainly if you are bullish the market. I want to tell you though, when this is going to end. The party will end at some point, and I'm not a doomer or a gloomer, but there is one indicator you can look at that'll tell you with pretty much 99% accuracy when it's the time to pull out. And, excuse me. So before we get into that, let me walk you through a couple of key data points so you actually understand the market. Is it rational? Is it irrational? Does it make sense? And give you some ideas of what might be good investment opportunities right now. Of course, this isn't financial advice, just an old banker on holiday in a rather glorious spot here. And I want to share this with you. Before we do though, seriously come and join my live trading training on Tuesday, because on Tuesday I will teach you when I enter trades, when I exit trades, how I automate it, and how we're up 15% this year, 105% last year, 126% the year before. That's always return on capital employed, and I'll teach you that for free, so come and join me. Now, are we in a bubble? If you look at NVIDIA, well, NVIDIA, and apologies, I've got some notes here. NVIDIA is actually gotten cheaper because NVIDIA is up 130% since 2021, but profits are up 230%. So earnings are almost twice as high in terms of growth as the stock price. So NVIDIA is actually cheaper now than at any time since 2021, which is kind of mad. And pretty much the same thing applies to all the other big tech stocks. They are all growing their profits faster than the stock price. And that's something. But adding $250 billion in a day to its market cap like NVIDIA is still pretty unusual. So we still need to ask ourselves the difficult question, should we still be in this, yes or no? And I will tell you when we get out of it. So if you look at the greed indicator, CNN has one that's pretty decent. It's probably the only decent thing that CNN puts out. We're at extreme greed. And therefore, I typically slow down my stock purchases and really focus on the highest quality names I've got, rather than just blindly buying everything. Another indicator that's quite useful to look at is, are people buying insurance on their portfolio? Which just means they're buying a put option and nobody is. And that typically happens when everybody thinks, oh my God, this can only go one way. And then for the moment, I actually believe them on that. One reason outside of AI, but sort of caused by AI, is lifespan. So Americans have been dying younger every year for the last decade or so because they've been killing themselves with Pepsi and Coca-Cola and McDonald's and KFC and all the crap that they consume. Diets just got worse, people got fatter. As people get fatter, they get diabetes, inflammation issues, all these diseases, and they die younger, which is weird for a country as rich as the US. But yeah, dietary education, like financial education, is definitely not on the curriculum. What's changing? Well, AI is making it possible for pharmaceutical companies, and you know I love those, that's a joke, to make drugs faster, because they can actually process data properly. And a little bit the beginning of that are the fat drugs, the Ozempics and you know what LLY and Novo Nordisk put out. If enough people were to take those drugs, and I'm not an advocate for that, I think change your diet, do something that actually has a lasting impact rather than popping a pill. But if enough people pop those pills, the US lifespan is actually going to grow, and that could, according to Goldman Sachs, add 3% GDP growth to the US economy. Because if people are around longer, well, they're going to buy more stuff, right? They're going to spend more, they're going to shop, they're going to give more money to Procter & Gamble and everybody else, and that'll be positive for the US economy. And yeah, that's pretty insane. And that's just the weight loss drugs. So think about further health advancements. They're going to come quicker than we previously thought, because we can now actually process data that we were not able to process before. Semiconductors, are they going to keep growing? Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a little bit like what happened in the 90s and then in 2000s when everybody had to upgrade their computers. This is one of those moments where just semiconductor demand is going to go through the roof for the next 5 years or thereabouts, till we maybe plateau again. So semis do seem to be a pretty good place to be in. So what then is the one indicator that you can look at to understand, is this market going to collapse? I want you to do this. Go into tradingview.com. It's free. And type in VIX. VIX. And that is the fear indicator of the market. And every time the market crashed, 2000, 2008, all of those events, before it crashes, it goes down a lot. And it just means people are not fearful, right? The market is feeling very, very safe. And what happens after that is that as the market starts to crash, this VIX indicator suddenly spikes up very, very rapidly. And that's the moment when you want to pull some sort of protection. That could mean selling things near the top. It could mean buying put options, but you want to have a strategy in place for that moment. And if you come and join me on Tuesday, live, on the live training at felixfriends.org/webinar, in addition to teaching you how I actually make money, I will also show you how I protect my portfolio from those events and how you could actually do that for free. Seriously, free insurance, almost free insurance, but it doesn't cost you any money outlay. So come and join me on Tuesday, live, felixfriends.org/webinar. And if you enjoy this video, then you know what to do, right? Smash and like and share and all that sort of good stuff. And I'm going to get on with another 2 massages today. It's a real struggle here right now. And I wish you a glorious day. Thanks for tuning in.